Before we begin today's episode, we want to inform you, the viewer, that today's episode has topics that are of a sensitive nature. Please use your own discretion before watching this episode and feel free to skip to the next one. Your well-being is our top priority.
I remember growing up, he'd say, "I wish you were never my son. I wish you never existed. You're a disgrace. I curse you and your kids and you feel the same exact pain that I felt." And this is just over time of him just saying crap to me back to back to back. Part of me wanted to get locked up. A part of me wanted to die in a gun shooting. I really wanted that to happen because I did not get that love from my dad, so I wanted somebody to feel sorry for me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Valley of the Heroic podcast. My name is Eric, and I am here today with somebody who is near and dear to me, my brother-in-law, Alex. But, not just a brother-in-law, really my brother. Word. And somebody that I really care for, and somebody that I know his story is definitely going to bless you. But, bro, I wanted to jump straight in and really start off with a question that I think you'll have a good answer to. Sometimes we go through different seasons in our life where God is doing different things and he's working in our lives in different areas and doing things. What is God basically working on with you lately? What has he been speaking to you? What is he changing? What is he renewing?
To be completely honest with you, he's just been working on putting me into positions where I have no other option but to rely on him. Like literally when it comes to finances, anything at all, like emotional, mental, spiritual, relational, whether it be intimate or like family, friends, anything at all. Like I have no other option but to rely on him, and being able to rely on him leads me to also having to rely on the Bible and knowing what his word sounds like and how he sounds like, which is something that I could be honest, it's hard to do at times. Because it's just hard to do that in general when you feel like so overwhelmed with everything. You kind of, from my past, like when not having a great father as a representation, right in there. To be honest, like not having a father that's like good at all, in a lot of different aspects, especially being like a great image as a father, like he just didn't do that for me. It's hard to rely on God with him also being my father. Yeah. And I think deep down inside, no matter how much I know it, like in my head, that he's my dad and that he would never forsake me, that everything that he does is to prosper me. It's just something deeply rooted that it's hard to shake. Yeah. And it's something that God's trying to break ground with me, and it causes me to break down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I know we're definitely going to dive into that part of your story, and I don't even know how I'm gonna react to the story because the whole like father conversation is like has always been like a sore spot for me. So yeah, we'll just see how that goes. Oddly enough, this is probably the first time where I've done already like 60 episodes. Yeah, and so far there hasn't been a real like serious father podcast episode yet. But or there haven't been many.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say was, it's interesting that you know how God is putting you both in a position where you have to rely on him, and your difficulty in relying on him because of, for lack of a better way of saying it, your basis of what fatherhood looks like is, I don't want to use words for you, but you're starting at a lower barometer, a lower level, if you will. Yeah. And so because of that, it's like God is making these promises to you that are up here, and you're like trying to make up that difference. Mm-hmm. And that can be hard for a lot of people who maybe didn't have the best relationship with their dad.
Yeah.
And that's putting it lightly for some people. But I'm just wondering, like, how is God doing that specifically for you? Like, I'm almost wondering selfishly, because I know how God has brought me through my process and my understanding of my relationship with my dad. But how has he done it for you? Like, how is he kind of teaching you that? Is he kind of just showing you his faithfulness, or is he just kind of like putting you in a place where you got to rely on him and it's changing you, or what is it?
I find myself getting drained because I personally believe that God either tells you the end goal, he doesn't tell you how to get there, or he tells you how to get there and gives you the steps every single day, but he doesn't tell you the end goal. And that's just my personal belief. And I feel like when I first changed my life and I gave my life to Jesus, he told me my day-to-day steps, but he didn't tell me the end goal, which was rough, which I think was also good to build faith and foundation and trust in him. And now that I feel like I have an end goal for the season that I'm in, or for the next couple seasons that I will be in, now it's kind of like everything is in my hands. But the best way I could put it is I'm getting drained and I have to remember, where is my water source coming from? Where do I have to go for a pit stop? It's like driving all the way from New Jersey to California. And you have a setup, like through the whole entire way, you have everything mapped out. You know how to get there, and you're in a car, and you know every single gas station you have to stop at to be able to get your fuel. And a lot of the times when I hit certain goals, or if I have daily tasks that I've hit that I didn't hit before, I minimize it and I don't glorify God through it. And I'm like, I don't have gratitude towards him, or I just don't open up my Bible. I don't pour into my relationship with him. And I make those goals a lot higher than my relationship with God at times. I feel like I run out of gas. I just drive right past the gas station. I don't stop at the gas station and I fuel up.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of how God's been teaching me, is that if I want to keep driving, if I want to be able to reach that goal, I can't do it without him, because he's the source of it all.
Yeah.
The car will not move unless it has gas. And the gas is such a huge part of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Man, that's interesting. It's the visual that you use, so that you're basically driving past the gas stations and you're running out of gas. Like, that's, for lack of a better way of saying it, that's what's gonna happen when we just keep pushing through and like relying on ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? And so obviously there's a reason why what you've learned to do is rely on yourself. Not only because from my perspective as your brother, I know that you are a very efficient person. You're hardworking. You have a good head on your shoulders. You're a go-getter and all those things. But I think there's like deeper reasons why that is. So, because I know some of your story.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but I'd love to hear from your perspective, like, what were some of those defining moments as you grew up? And mostly, the two pit stops, if you will, if we keep using the same analogy, is this moment that happened that it deeply impacted you, and then how did God shape that, or how did God encounter you in light of that and redefine it, if that makes sense. So start wherever you want to start.
You kind of like lost me on that.
I lost you? No, I got you.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, with the whole analogy of the road trip, right? You know how the gas stations is your connections with God and the refueling. But there's also these pit stops that you have, these places in your life where something happened. Some type of event happened that shaped you. And that's your life's journey. Start off wherever you want to, but share your story and tell us what those pit stops were. What were those different things that shaped you? Plus, how did God encounter you throughout your life as well?
Right. Well, I remember one of my, like, when I was explaining earlier how I feel like God tells you the end goal, but doesn't tell you the path, or he tells you exactly what to do every single day, but doesn't tell you the end goal. One of those biggest things I always revert back to is remembering when $1,000 felt like it was impossible to ever reach. And at that point, at that point of my age, I didn't have a license, I didn't have a permit, I had no car. Plus, I ain't had my mom in the state, and I didn't have a dad to rely on. And I was sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
I was sleeping on the couch. Before that, I was sleeping on the floor. Like, $1,000 felt like it was impossible to me. So it was like, to me, it felt impossible to even have a car. So I was working at Target at the time, and I was like making no money, and I hated the job. And then God was just telling me to stay there, and he was just giving me orders, just keep showing up, stay there, keep showing up, stay there. And I remember I was growing throughout the whole entire time that I was in Target. I was outside in the freezing cold, pushing carts in the rain, pushing carts. And I was like, God, why? God, why? Like, why do you have me here? Like I have more to offer. Like I'm strong enough. Like I've been through all that stuff with my father just to be here. Like what's the end goal? Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then throughout the whole time, then I started to fake myself and was like, no, I'm happy to be here. Maybe I just have to work harder and push the carts a lot more. Maybe I have to
Push carts harder.
Word, like I have to be like the Superman of carts, like like getting everything. And then over time, I was like, God's trying to teach me something, and I don't know what it is, and I hate this job, but you had me here for a reason, and I'm just gonna have to trust in you. And although I do hate it, God changed my heart, changed my mind, and changed how I feel about this to be able to be grateful, because I'm not grateful about it. Like, teach me, like, change my heart. And then that's when I started to read the Bible more. That's when I started to journal and actually meditate on his word. And just over time, little by little, I didn't like the job, and that's completely fine to not like it, but I was grateful to have a job.
Yeah.
I was grateful that I wasn't in the position that I was a couple years ago. Like, I'm sleeping on the couch, yeah, but now I'm not sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
I might not have my dad, but now I have my sister and my brother. And I started like growing gratitude over time. And then I ended up I just kept showing up. I just kept doing what God was telling me to do. I just kept showing up. And then over time, I felt like the season was coming to an end, and I genuinely didn't hate the job. Like, it wasn't my favorite job, but over the time I was able to grow gratitude, patience, and just learning to lean on God, literally learning to lean on God. Cause I remember driving down the street, God just told me to make a right, like out of nowhere, just driving to the gym. He tells me to make a right turn into this random building. It was a sports performance location, which, if you guys don't know, I'm a coach now. Mind you, I'm just a kid in Target, just training, just trying to get fit. I wanted to go to college and I wanted to play sports, and I just make a random turn. God says turn right out, and again, because of my obedience every single day of just showing up and listening to him and meditating, I didn't even think twice. Like, is that me? Is that just my head? I just knew it was God. I just made that right turn, went straight in there. And mind you, I wanted to play sports in college at the time, because that's like where my head was at, because I wanted to get fit. I had like, like hoop dreams, whatever, as they call it.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and I thought God wanted me to go in there to ask for training for myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, like, do you guys have like any availability? What do the prices look like for training? Mind you, I'm broke. $1,000 still felt impossible.
Yeah.
Although I was working like a dog. And the guy literally looked at me from head to toe and then looked back up, and he was like, you want to be a trainer or do you want to get trained? And I took the opportunity. I was like, hey, whatever y'all got going on, like, I'm open. And they said, okay, come tomorrow for an internship. The day after, I go for the internship, and I decided to take initiative. I was like, closed mouths don't get fed. So I go ahead, I take the initiative during class to help some of the athletes, motivating them, fixing their form, and just being really intricate on things that I've learned while I was getting trained.
Yeah.
And literally from an internship that was supposed to be like free, like I was not going to get paid to just get experience. From that one session that I was just there for 45 minutes, I got an offer for literally double from what I was getting at Target. And then now I have my own business and stuff like that a couple years later. So kind of crazy.
That was like a huge turning point from you. Everything from Target to shifting the new jobs and shifting into a new field and everything like that.
Yeah.
Would you say that was the time where, like, how would I word this? Like, where you really started to deepen your relationship with God? And I guess the dramatic way of saying it would be like turning your life around because of everything that went on before the couch.
Yeah.
The sleeping on the floor and everything that led up to that point. Was that the turning point for you? Or around that time, was that the turning point for you?
I think that was the season after I was able to 100% rely on God. Before that, I was in a season of isolation, not knowing what to do in my life. I didn't know what God looked like, what a relationship with him looked like. I didn't know how to rely on him or anyone at all. And also, once I gave my life to God, Jesus literally said, the friends that I had in the group that I was hanging around with, unfortunately, wasn't gonna suit me for the future and also for the path that I was going on. So I felt super lonely, not having a family, at the time. And also the only thing that I'd known as a family for years. And also like they took me in, they let me have like a roof over my head and help me get money, unfortunately, like the wrong ways, but the only ways that they knew.
Yeah.
It felt insane to just leave them, and I struggled with that a lot. And that was kind of like my first foundation of seriously submitting and surrendering to God.
Okay. So now, okay, for the sake of everybody watching,
Right.
let's rewind and let's fill in the gaps of your story. What throughout your life, what leads to the point of you being isolated, bring us up until that point of the isolation and sleeping on the floor, and then let's continue from there.
Yeah. So
Obviously
basically,
starting with like your growing up and everything.
yeah. So when I was super young, my family had a good amount of money. Like we were steady, we were doing really good. My dad had great jobs. He was always in New York. He was working all the time. And my dad and I, from what I remember, had a good relationship when I was a child. Like when I was super, super young. And there's even stories about my mom putting me to sleep. And again, my dad was working like a dog. He'd come like middle of the night, like 2 a.m. sometimes, or like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And he'd find me sleeping laid out in front of the entry door when he walked in from work. And I'm just knocked out there because I was waiting for him. And then he'd pick me up and then he'd bring me to the room. And then I'd wake up from him coming back from work and him picking me up. And then I was happy to see him. So I'd keep him up all night after he was working. So those are like the last good memories that I had of my dad.
Yeah.
And
how old were you?
Oof,
Like about
5, 6.
Okay.
And yeah, so those are like one of the good memories that I had of my dad. Unfortunately, one day I get pulled out of school. My mom's crying, just tears going down her face. She said, Papi got into an accident. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So I get taken out of school. We go to the hospital. I'm at the hospital. All I see is my dad with tubes, a whole bunch of doctors around him. And my dad just looks like he's done. Like I thought like that was the last time I was going to see my dad.
Yeah.
A couple months later, again, I'm young. I don't understand what's going on. And also like with a whole lot of trauma, you can't really remember too much.
Yeah.
But he ends up like having like difficulty remember things, difficulty on like walking, a little bit talking and eating and stuff like that, because he fell, he hurt his back, and as you know, a lot of nerves are connected in your spine, and it just messed with his cognitive function, messed with like a whole bunch of different stuff. And we're basically like just trying to rebuild them up again, like eating a lot better, and then like speaking and like talking and like walking and stuff like that. And over time, freaking doctors, he's been saying that he's been having a lot of back pain over the time, and the doctors just said, okay, just keep taking more, and obviously he was on perks, and unfortunately the dude gets addicted to perks.
Yeah.
Now, just to fast forward, unfortunately my dad got very physical with me and my mother, and it came to the point that like I'd had to go to hospitals at times, and I'd had to lie, like the AC fell on my hand, like the AC fell on this, I fell down the stairs, oh I got this because of that. And mommy telling me before going into school, if they ask you about this, you're gonna say that, and just telling stories to make sure that DIFs is like they don't come to the crib.
Yeah.
So that was really traumatizing. Getting hit like that is also traumatizing. And my dad also has OCD, so he'd also like be very, very on top of things in the house. And now that he wasn't working because of his accident, we had to move a lot of times, like move in different houses, consistently moving. My mom's working overnight, or she's working during the day, and guess who had to stay alone with my dad? Me. And because I had to stay alone with my dad, I'd also get tested a lot, and perks also make you very irritated and irritable.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make you think straight. And I've gone through like a lot of different traumatizing things with my father, which is unfortunate that I still deal with to this day, but I'm healing with God. I've been to therapy and I'm still working through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like where I kind of like want to stop at right now.
yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, that's
so like we can
it's
break
a
it
lot.
down. Yeah.
It's a lot that you had to deal with that is really unfortunate. You know,
Yeah.
like trauma comes in so many different forms. But I think that anything that's physical,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's it's more, like that's not what I mean, but it has a very different twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it can be so damaging to a person. So I want to just like honor you for even sharing that and sharing that piece of your story, as hard as it may be.
Yeah.
And that must have been pretty confusing for you, as a kid, like having to navigate that shift, and especially being as though you're the only boy and it's all sisters, so you're only son.
Yeah.
That's the only male figure in the house.
Shout out to my sisters. Sorry.
Shout out to my sisters. That must have been like really difficult for you, because now you're like confused. It's not just the physical aspect, but it's also the mental aspect as a child, navigating that and having to understand like what is going on. This is a person that I love. Obviously, I don't like to tell other people's stories, but there's that whole thing that people say that every parent is doing better than their parent.
Yeah, that's what my therapist told me, and I was like, I understood that.
That's like the therapy starter kit, I think.
Yeah,
like
word. And it's true though.
It's true
because my dad is doing better than his dad. And there's a lot of things that I don't know.
That's what I meant. Why I don't want to share like his story, but I know some things, and those are only the things that we know. Imagine the things we don't know, where it's like, yo, like, and that doesn't make the things that you went through good.
Yeah.
It's still bad. For me, like sharing from my perspective, for example, because different therapists have told me the same thing, and I agree with it. Like, I know that both of my parents are doing better than their parents.
Yeah.
Or trying to, at the very least. I think the problem becomes when fixing the one thing our parents did wrong, or trying to do better than them, becomes the only goal of our parenting.
Yeah.
It has to be more than that.
Yeah.
It can't just, and this is more so for like people who are wanting to be like good parents.
Yeah.
Like to take away. It's like your only goal, everybody's goal is to just do better than their parents.
Yeah.
Like, I hated this blank, blank, blank thing that my parent did to me. I'm not going to do it to my kids. Like, I remember literally being a kid. A lot of them were dumb things, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to feed my kids rice and beans every day. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm
like,
not going to feed my kids soap every day.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, but there's some things that are kind of dumb like that. But then there's deeper things where you promise yourself, I'm never going to do it. Sometimes you can't even do that. You end up having and doing very similar or the same things because you never healed it inside of you. So now it comes out of you.
100%.
But then sometimes you are able to. And if you tell a person that is literally doing everything in their power, maybe not actively, but at least passively, they really, really, really deeply want to not make those same mistakes. If you tell them that that's not enough, is deeply insulting to them.
Yeah, word.
Deeply.
It is.
And that's when you have situations where, maybe your dad will curse you out. Not your dad specifically, but I mean in general. People, your dad will curse you out and be like, well, what are you talking about? I did this, I did that, I didn't do this, or only if you had my childhood. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a big takeaway from that specifically is for us to understand that the only goal cannot just be just doing better than our parents or not doing what they did. That's not enough. If you truly want to be great at anything, sorry for my language, but you got to bust your ass.
Yeah.
Do you remember the conversation I had with you about being the top 1%?
Yeah.
If you want to be top 1%, you have to do top 1% things. So if you want to be the top 1% in your field, if you want to be the top 1% in as a parent, if you want to, it's 1%. The whole concept of being the 1%er, the top
Word.
1% of wealth, the top 1% in sports, it's 1%. And you want to be in there, and you think that passivity of approach and natural gifting is going to be enough? No.
You need to bust your ass.
You need to go crazy. You need to either make up, because you're going to have natural weaknesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all do. And yeah, some people do have a bigger leg up than other people. Like LeBron James is a freak of nature,
Word.
for example, right? But does he still work his behind off? Yes. Do you know by any chance the stat of how much he spends on his body yearly?
Nah.
It was insane, though. I
was
remember I heard
wild,
about that.
yeah.
It was like some wild number of how much he spends on his body. And then I also saw another stat that said, I know it seems like we're getting a little bit off topic here, but it all makes sense if you really think deeply about this. They added another stat to that said just how much he was actually getting back from that. And what he was getting back from it was so minimal, but it's still an edge for him, that it's still worth it because he's part of the top 1%.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that when we were having that conversation, you were specifically asking me about waking up at 5 a.m. Was it?
Yeah.
And you were just like, I really feel like God wants me to wake up at 5 a.m. And I'm feeling like I need to start doing it because I need to get ahead on my day and I need to progress as an athlete, blah, blah, blah. And you were telling me, and I just told you, like, yo, if you want to be top 1%, you got to do top 1% things.
Yeah.
And for me, like, if I don't wake up at 4 a.m., my whole day is shot. You know what I'm saying? Now, at this point, because being a dad of 3, soon 4, having a family, running a business, my schedule is very demanding. So if I even want to do certain things, I got to be up at 4 a.m. or it's done.
Yeah.
You know? And I firmly believe that, like, as applying that now to the parenthood, excuse me, applying that now to the parenthood aspect, for the sake of the listeners and based on our conversation too, if you want to be that top 1% parent, which I think most people do, you want to be a good parent to your kids. Nobody's like, man, F this little kid, I don't care about him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Word.
you know, actually there are some people who are like that, but they're like deeply damaged. But most people care about their child. And a lot of the things that they are failing at are due to things that they didn't heal in, and things that they're not dealing with, and things that they're not actively trying to fix and grow in.
So if you had to make a starter pack for parents who are just getting into it, and they also need, like, for any parent that needs to heal and they're deeply damaged, or just parents in general getting into their first kid or second kid or third kid, what would be a starter pack that you'd have for them, or like advice for them that you'd have?
I have a concept that I talked about once in a podcast episode of digging deeper wells. And what that means to me, digging deeper wells, is that we all, as parents, right? We all are, figuratively, we are a well that our children drink from.
Right.
And so when you become a well from your children to drink from, that your children, no matter what, they always think you're the bee's knees. You're the best thing in the world. Children never look at their parent until later on. They never look at their parent and think badly of them. So when something bad happens, they don't think, like you as a kid, you weren't thinking something's wrong with my dad, or my dad is bad because he's hitting me. Right? You never thought that. You always thought something was wrong with you.
Yeah.
Children internalize everything that's going on as something is wrong with me because of how they idealize the parent. The parent they can't be wrong. They're your parent.
Yeah.
They're amazing. You love them so much. So you become the well that they drink from. And if your well is tainted, they're drinking tainted water. And then now later on in their life, they have to decide, are they going to be the same well? So this is where the concept really comes into fruition.
Right.
We all inherit the well that our parent gives us. It's one well. You're not a different well than your dad. You're taking his well. He gave it to you. You are the same well as him. But what you do with it, the point that you leave, that day you take the well that he gave you, you leave. Now you have a choice. Do you leave the well the same, or do you dig a deeper well? And digging a deeper well, what does that signify? Work. So the starter kit is, for me, anything that is growth related for me, anything that I approach, whether I'm doing good at it or not. I'll give you 2 examples. Spiritually, I've grown more than I ever have these last 4 years. And I've attacked it from every angle. I've improved my prayer life. I've improved my commitment to God and to the people that I love, people that surround me. I've improved my commitment to studying the word. I've attacked it from every area. I've put in the work. Preston Morrison, a pastor that I really love, and I spoke to him once on Instagram. I asked him, like, how do you know that God, like, how do you know that you're doing enough?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's the formula? I don't remember how I asked the question, but like, what's the formula for like knowing is something going to happen? Like, God speaks something to you, but you don't know if you got to do something or if he's going to do it. And he was like, every single time, work like it depends on you, and pray like it depends on him.
Work like it depends on you. Pray like it
Work like it depends on you. Pray like it depends on him. So it's both. A lot of people have one or the other. They pray like it depends on God, and then they're like, all right. They never
put the initiative to work. Yeah.
Then a lot of people are like, I'm gonna rely on me. They put in the work like it depends on them, but they don't. God is not part of the equation. So with parenthood, for example, I think that digging the deeper well is putting in that work and seeking God to the point where you say, I'm going to pray like it depends on you for me to be a better parent. But you look at my Kindle over there, one of the recent books I read is about my kids. I'm reading a book on how to better talk to my kids, because my kids, they don't be listening. I have some really strong-willed daughters.
Yeah.
And most kids don't listen. Like, you tell them something, they come from a long day of school, they're tired. There's a lot of reasons why that is. But I want to learn how I can speak to them in a way that they actually hear me and they feel validated as a person. Most people from our heritage, Latinos, would just be like, I'm going to break you until you listen. And what do you get? The result you get is a kid that listens, but they have a broken spirit. And then they listen to you for the rest of your life, but then you send them out into the world and their spirit is broken.
Yeah.
Imagine Kaya with a broken spirit at 25 years old. And I'm the reason for that. Like, I broke her spirit down.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of us are dealing with. And again, passively, we all want to be good. Passively, we all want to be good parents. Passively, we all want to give our kids a good well to drink from.
Yeah.
Are we actively doing it? Your dad did better than his dad. My mom did better than her dad. My dad did better than my dad. Your mom did better than her parents. Joanna is doing better than her parents. You're going to do better than your parents. No matter what.
Yeah.
You're going to do better. But are you going to dig a deeper well? And this is what happens. And after this, I want to get back into your story a little bit. This is what happens. Each generation inches forward. Right? So your dad this is where your dad was. This is where his dad was. This is where you are. Just by nature of wanting to do better, he inched forward. There's a certain amount that you can do passively, right? That he got forward. And then now you inherited from him everything that he did. You will passively come up to about the same amount that he did. Maybe more, maybe less, right? But you have a choice whether you could take the generations that come from you, your children, and are you going to blast them forward and give them a foundation that literally skips generations of passivity?
Right.
You have that choice. Why do you have that choice? Because you know that you have this knowledge. Most of the people don't have the choice because while they want to be better parents, they don't really realize how much power they have to actively change the future that their children inherit.
Yeah.
That's not just financially. That's financially, that's mentally, that's emotionally. It's like, yo, people really just don't want to do it. Honestly, let's just be real. People really just don't want to do it. They'll come up with all this like kumbaya stuff and like puff up their chest. Like they're, like people do it all the time because what is it? You get defensive. You start to defend yourself. Why? Because you're offended.
To be completely honest with you, it's the easy way out is to not do it because it freaking sucks.
It sucks.
It freaking sucks, but you got to do it. If you don't do it, then you're being selfish.
It sucks.
And you're killing yourself. You're literally killing yourself, and you're doing the same exact thing that your parents did, is breaking your own spirit. And you're setting yourself up to break your own kid's spirit. And not even just your kids, but also your friends and the people around you.
Anybody you lead.
Anybody. And it sucks. And if you want to suck, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, if you want to suck, go ahead.
Go ahead and be complacent. Keep on sucking and don't be not even 50%. Just go ahead and suck.
Yeah. It's
just go ahead and suck.
That's a really hard word, and some people aren't gonna like that.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's the reality. Like, what do you want me to sugarcoat that for you? Like when you were living with me at the time, right? When we talked about the 5 a.m. conversation. What if I was like, well, it's like, you can ease your way into it. But literally waking up at 5 a.m. changed your life, didn't it?
Dude. Yeah, it did. It was one of the craziest things and like stepping stones that I felt like, exactly like you said, like if I didn't start my day like that, my whole day would be shot. And I remember I woke up just to go to the gym and be at the gym at 5 a.m. But I needed to get some fuel. So I started to wake up extra early and I'd eat. So I'd cook, I'd eat, and I'd also read, pray, and like break down the Bible, journal, and then go to the gym. Because I was like, I want to show God that he comes first.
Yeah.
And by that, I was able to be fueled for the rest of the day.
And it's like, does everybody need to wake up at 5 a.m.? No. It's
unless God's telling you to.
Unless God is telling you to. Or unless you want to be top 1%.
Yeah.
If you want to be top 1%, then maybe 5 a.m. is part of your...
Doesn't it say in the Bible that it's best to pray while everybody's sleeping?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, biblical stuff about that. Really, the window is 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. And this is more like prophetic Pentecostal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So my non-Pentecostal viewers might be like, you know what I'm saying? But you have things like the Watchman hour, and there's a lot of stuff behind that. It's also a big reason why a lot of times, like people who have a prophetic gift or just Christians in general, God will wake them up at 3 a.m. I literally not too long ago, funnily enough, bro, this was crazy. The Holy Spirit woke me up at 3 a.m., but he literally woke me up like that.
Oh no, I would have started tweaking
by my calf. Not too hard and not too soft.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally was a tap, and I wake up, like I woke straight up. It was enough to just wake me up from 0 to 100, like forceful enough, but not too forceful where it was irritating, where I jumped up like, yo, it was good.
Yeah.
Right? But I wake up and I look at Joe and I'm like, is she awake? No, she's knocked out. And I'm like, so I look at the time and it's 3 a.m. And I'm like, ain't no way.
Boy.
Ain't no way.
Boy.
But that's just a side thing. I don't know. I've been through my own things with 3 a.m. So
yeah,
it's 3 to 5. I feel like that's like, it's not like a secret type of thing, but I just feel like for some reason, maybe it's the whole like, no, everybody's sleeping. You're giving the first fruit of your day to the Lord. it's quiet, it's the stillness, the world is in slumber. You know what I'm saying? Like I think all of those things have very deep significant,
Yeah,
and you can focus.
it definitely does, because not even like prophetically, like in the Bible, does it talk about that. Um, I also used to practice like a type of witchcraft,
Mhm.
and the witches and like the sorcerers and people like that that I talked to at the moment when I wasn't believing in God, obviously. A lot of the stuff that would happen between the time of 3 a.m. till 5 a.m.
Yep.
That's when they do their little prayers. That's when they do the little candle stuff and the leaves, and then the
Yeah.
sacrificing the little animal and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And that's when they do all their stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very important to pray over your household and cover it in the blood of Jesus.
Yeah.
I heard this story of a witch. She, like, they paid her to go ahead and put a curse upon a household. And it was a podcast just like this. And she went and she just heard a loud screech in her ears that she was trying to do the little curse that she was paid to do. And she had to run away because she literally started to like feel like irritation on her skin.
Wow.
And she said she started praying to like her little guy, which is basically the enemy, the devil, and stuff like that. And she couldn't even go near the house because they prayed the blood of Jesus over the household and over the kids, because they did the curse for the kids. Like they went to the like she went to the window
Mhm.
of where the child slept at. And just like that, she couldn't even get near. She couldn't even get near.
Insane.
And that's when she turned Christian.
Jeez.
That's when she turned
That's
Christian.
amazing.
Yeah. There's nothing more powerful than Jesus.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And that's another starter pack if you want to become a great father or parent. Just saying. Just try it out.
Hey, what is going on? Listen, really quick, I just wanted to interrupt this episode to give you a quick message about our Patreon page. Patreon is a platform that allows creators like me to be able to make exclusive content for people like you, and in turn for you to help support our ministry efforts and our creative efforts in trying to advance the gospel to everyone that might be going through a painful situation, so that they can believe that their valley has purpose and they can roar on their mountaintop. Would you consider joining our Patreon today, becoming a member, and supporting us in that goal so that we can reach more people for God's kingdom and bless more lives? More information down below in the description. Let's go back to the episode right now. See you guys later. So a lot of that you shared was your younger years,
Yeah.
you know, before teenage stuff, and obviously your relationship with your dad really deeply impacted you.
100%. Yeah.
It hurt you, it marked you,
Mm-hmm.
and then it led up to the point where you had to leave. Walk me through like what led up to you leaving, and what happened during that season where it was like, what do we see you maybe 3 times in a span of like 3-4 years or something like that? A lot happened during that time for you, and of course share only what you want to share, but you know, just tell us about that time that led up to the.
I remember in high school, I was a badass kid. Like sometimes I used to like just enter the classroom and the teacher would just tell me to just leave because they just wouldn't want to deal with me. Like they literally just tell me to just leave. And I'm like, I ain't even doing anything. Like, I'm literally just walking in my backpack, everybody's sitting down. And they're like we both knew that I was gonna cause a ruckus or something was gonna happen because I didn't want to do something. So then they just ended up kicking me out. So they just ended up starting just like to kick me out. And
That's
towards
high school, that's a big MO.
Yeah. And then I remember in the middle of the school of my sophomore school year. No, in the beginning of sophomore year, I wanted to start to change.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting sat down a lot more, talking to like the principals were talking to me, the social worker that worked there was talking to me, the guidance counselors, a whole bunch of different people were talking to me. My parents were talking to me. Well, my mom was talking to me. You were talking to me. My sister was talking to me, and it planted a little seed, but I never really took it to heart. I was like just rebellious because all the stuff that was going on at home. and only thing around me was just people that were gang banging and stuff like that. It looked like a family. It looked like the closest thing that I was like, wow, like that's a family. And what ended up happening was I ended up wanting to change in school only because of a girl. I ended up wanting to change school because she was like, I'm not gonna be with no bad guy like this and that. And I wanted to change a little bit. And I started like going to school, and I was telling the teachers, hey, I want to change, but they wouldn't even give me a time of day. Like they wouldn't even give me the time of day. So I was like, yo, F this. So I went ahead and I just kept getting in trouble, kept getting suspended. It was a time I got suspended for like a month and some change. Like I was not in school for that whole month.
Wow.
Ended up dropping out. I got my GED. I got kicked out of the program that I was in, but I was still able to pass my GED. And I was home.
Didn't you get kicked out like the day before graduation?
It was 3 days before graduation I got kicked out. So I wasn't able to walk, but because I already took my test, it was already submitted, so I was able to pass. And what led me to move out or like get kicked out, like my father was just tweaking. Like honestly, I just got tired of him over the years saying I was not gonna like amount to nothing. Like he just kept saying. I remember like growing up, he'd say, I wish you were never my son. I wish you never existed. You're a disgrace. He'd say that like I curse you and your kids and you feel the same exact pain that I felt, and saying all these hurtful things. And this is just over time of him just saying crap to me back to back to back. So at this point it's just background noise. And once I felt like I had some type of isolation and knowing how it is to be by myself and not needing my family, being in a program for literally, what was it, like 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
I was in there
for a while.
Yeah, I was gone for a couple months, and I didn't have my family, no conversations and stuff like that. And I came back, and then once again, like he's not going to change in those couple months. He was still the same person. He's always bothering me, always trying to push my buttons, and I was just like, bro, like that's it. Like I'm done with you. And it came to the point that like I started fighting back, and I didn't want to like fight with my dad. Like I didn't want to lay hands on him. So one day I believe like we fought, and then from there like he was like, get out my house. And I was like, I bet, like I don't even like you anyways, like why would I want to live with you?
Yeah.
So I just dipped, and then I figured it out. Like my boy, like obviously like I was game banging, and they took me in.
Mm-hmm.
They took me in. They were like, yo, like my boy's crib. I slept on the floor. It was right next to it was on the same block as a trap house. Like I was dealing drugs there. I was like, yo, I'm making money here. They care about me. If they
You were making good money.
I was making good money.
Yeah.
Well, I flipped like a pound in like 2 days. Like everybody was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Bro, like like I wanted it. Like I want to be successful."
Yeah.
And no matter
That's the thing that people don't understand. Like, just because people are like dealing, it doesn't mean that they don't have crazy work ethic.
100%. Like
people think there's like a lazy stigma that comes with, and yeah, you have lazy dealers too. But there's people out there that they're like literally business geniuses.
100%. By then, we didn't have anything that's like pre-rolls, which is basically like it's already rolled up for you in a nice little case with a sticker and stuff like that. Like back, like this was like what, 2018, 2019, and you only get that from California. So I was smart as hell. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go on Amazon. I'm gonna invest the money from the first O that I went from a dime, then working all the way up into an ounce, and then from an ounce, I just kept working my way up, and I was investing that money into buying stickers, into buying like packages to make it look nice, into doing a whole bunch of different things to make sure that my business looked legit. And I was doing deliveries and then charging this, and
like you,
like I was just like
it's crazy.
Like I was trying to make it like as professional as possible, and it came to the point that one of my childhood best friends that I grew up in, he also game banging and stuff like that in the same exact hood that I was in. We were always connected, and I knew him since I was young.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to put him out there like that. But I knew him since I was super young. Him
Say
and
his name. No, I'm just kidding.
It's no play.
Don't.
And it came to the point like right before I gave my life to God, like he went to Colombia. I was supposed to go down to Florida, and he was supposed to bring coke all the way from over there in like a couple different ways with like a couple different boats and stuff like that to bring it to Florida. And then from Florida, we wanted to bring it to New York and Jersey. Like it came to that point,
We were right on that point.
I was right on that point of like doing some big stuff, and our goal literally was to be like the next Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
Like we wanted, like, cause I was walking down the street and I was like, bro, like Bro, to be completely honest with you, like a lot of these bums are in the street and they're like old as hell with tattoos on their face and they smoking and just like living check to check, but off of the weed that they're selling or off of the perks and pills that like they're selling.
Yeah.
A lot of them are bums and a lot of them are moving stuff.
Yeah.
There's some people that are moving stuff.
Yeah.
But there's also leeches in there too. Like there's losers in there. Just how it is in the regular, in even the business industry now. Like there's a lot of losers, but there's also a lot of people and like CEOs that make moves. And it kind of depends on you. Are you gonna bust your ass to be that 1%? And that transition into when I decided to start, and I was also rapping at that time too, and it started to really go up. And with my manager also, like even telling me like to do voodoo and like doing all this stuff aside from already doing witchcraft, because like when you gang bang, like you are required to do a lot of that stuff. It definitely opened my eyes to spirituality.
Yeah.
And although I knew about God, I didn't have no connection with him or nothing like that. I was
you
like,
were
yo,
really young when you were.
yeah. I was like, hey, if it's working for me and it's working in my favor and I'm doing it. But I was so drained and so depressed. It was like literally taking my life. Like, it was taking my life. I was depressed. It was horrible. And I remember one day, like, God literally told me, he was like, I've been having my grace and my hand on you for so long. And you know that I'm real. You know that I'm here and I've protected you from so many things and giving you grace for so many things. And I loved you even when you didn't love me. I loved you and I knew who you are every single step of the way. And I know that it sucks and I know that it's hard, but I'm going to take my hands off of everything right now if you don't change your life around and you don't choose me. And him telling me that, like, I heard him audibly so clear. I knew it was God. Like, I just knew it was God. And he was like, you're either going to end up in jail or dead. There's no other option, but you're going to end up in jail or dead, or whatever the hell happens to you. And one of my biggest fears was to become a crackhead on the street.
Yeah.
Just getting locked up and just being in there. And to be completely vulnerable with you, a part of me wanted to get locked up. A part of me wanted to die in a gun shooting. I really wanted that to happen because I did not get that love from my dad, so I wanted somebody to feel sorry for me. I wanted him to reflect back and be like, what did I do wrong? And I wanted him to feel that damn pain of his own son is dead because of his own damn doing.
Yeah.
And it sucks to want to die.
Yeah. Believe it or not, that's more common than you think.
Yeah. Like I didn't understand what I was living for at that moment. Like, money wasn't enough, girls wasn't anything, like drugs weren't enough. Like, came to the point that things just started to not be enough. And I heard God, and ever since that day, I gave my life to God, and I just needed to just be alone with him. And it was hard because I still had my quote unquote family, and I still have love for them to this day. I talk to them once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Like, all my friends I used to game bang with, like, they have love for me. Like, they seriously have love for me. And there's some in there that they turned away from me. There's some in there that hated me for leaving. There's some in there that had jealousy towards me. But the ones that I knew that were my family from the beginning, they still stick to this day as brothers. And they always support me in anything that I'm doing. They're proud of me. They send me messages once in a blue moon. I send them messages once in a blue moon. And some of them have kids. God bless their kids.
Yeah.
And it's insane, like, how my whole entire story has played out and is still continued to be written. And I'm glad that I didn't die. And I'm glad that I don't want to die now, because God has changed that. And I just want to help people. And if my story could help people, then I'm going to speak it loud and proud, no matter how much it hurts me. And I'll do anything to help anybody in my path.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, bro. Remind me, the point where you heard God speak to you. Mm-hmm. Were you still living with your boy, or at that point were you already living with us? Like, what was the timeline there? Because it's a little bit fuzzy for me.
Yeah. So actually, what was it? I remember I got jumped I got jumped when I was like sleeping at my boy's crib and stuff like that, and I was on the block. I
Right.
got I
That was the
got
reason
jumped.
why you came with us, right?
No.
Okay,
So yo, chill out, yo. No, I'm playing.
I was about to make a
No.
joke too.
Nah. So my mom was driving on a block because she do that randomly because she knew where I was at.
Yeah.
And one day she just pops out the car and she just starts like crying. She's like, "Son, come home." And mind
were
you,
not
I
going
was
there.
I was not going there. I was like, yo, like if this happened to me here, like this happened to me when I was young, like the heck.
Yeah.
But my face was done up.
Yeah.
Like my face was done. Like I'm talking about.
So she caught you right after you got jumped.
Yeah, right after I got jumped. Like my face had blood. It was swollen. Like you couldn't even recognize my face. Honestly, ever since that day, my face has not been the same.
Oh wow.
100%. Yeah. Like my face has definitely changed. Like something structural or something like that. Like
You got a
it
nice
changed.
face though.
Thank you.
Maybe they helped you out.
Yo.
Sorry, no.
And from that day, like my mom just kept reaching out. Like she's like, come back. And I did go back. And obviously my dad's still there. Cause I was like, you know what? It'd be nice to have a room. It'd be nice to have like a bed.
Ah, yes, I remember this.
I came back and what happened? Oh, I came back and I was working at Pizza Hut at the time because it was court mandated to have a job.
Yeah.
Because I had like some like court stuff
I
going
forgot
on.
You worked at Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I was working at that free pizza every night. Dog. That joke was fire. I'm not going back though. It's good. I'm done with that season. I was living back at my dad's house, and it was really weird to be there because I was like living just to live. I was doing whatever according to me, like what I was doing, and I was still trying to do that in there.
Yeah.
Like I still had a gun under the mattress. I still had weed and pills everywhere, like making sure it doesn't smell too much because I didn't want to bother them. And I was like, yo, it's kind of nice to have a bed.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep this as much as I can. But I hid it pretty well. But my dad didn't want me there. My dad did. He made it like very clear he didn't want me there. It came to the point that my mom is so innocent. She's a sweetheart. She doesn't know what weed looks like or really smells like for real. And for some reason, like, yes, I'm smart, but they thought I was like some magical genius, like when it came to this stuff. So my dad literally put a whole bunch of tea bags, like opened it up, put it in a plastic Ziploc bag, which is cheap. I wouldn't sell it like that back then, but put it in a plastic Ziploc bag. And he put it and try to say that no, he'd like put it there and then be like, oh, and like he'd like tell her like, oh, let's check his room, this and that. My mom pulled me to the side. You still doing the same crap, mind you, I was, but I was hiding it.
Right.
You still doing the same crap, this and that. Shows it to me. I'm like, Mom, this is tea. You gonna tell me? I'm like, Mom, smell it. And it came to the point that she was like, no, I was like, Mom, this is real weed. And I showed it to her. Because she knew, my mom knew that I smoked. Like, my mom knew that I smoked.
Yeah. But she
just couldn't prove that,
she just wanted you to be home.
Yeah, and she didn't realize that, like, I was really selling for real. Like, she didn't know, like, to the extent that I was at. But her mind would just go places.
Right.
And I was like, bro, like, he planted it there. But I'd still argue with my dad and stuff like that. And I just couldn't. Like, I couldn't be in that house no more. It was the same old crap. Like, he ain't changed. He did not change at all. If anything, he became worse.
Yeah.
And then that's when I moved in with Al because I argued with him one time and he just told me, he's like, yo, get the hell out of my house. And it was an argument over me trying to teach him how to speak to my sister, my baby sister that was living with us at the moment.
Yeah.
Because my mom wasn't there. She was in Florida. My mom was there for a little bit, like a month in, and then a month after, like she just left. Like she went to Florida.
Yeah.
And he was I think I just got triggered. Like he was just speaking to my baby sister nasty. Like I hated the way he was talking to her.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, yo, like, you're like, relax, like talk to her this way, talk to that. He's like, you're not gonna tell me how to raise my kid. I was like, bro, that's why you effed up with me. Like I'm being honest with him. And he was like, bro, get the out of my house. I was like, seriously? Like you can't take accountability. Like you can't just take it from another person's like outside perspective. Like you gotta have your ego come in the way. So like you really want to mess up your relationship with your daughter? Like I hate you and you see that. You want the same thing to happen? And funny enough, I've had many conversations with him once I was healed, once I gave my life to God. I had a lot of conversations with him, like sitting him down. I was like, yo, like, what happened? Like, why'd you do this? I asked him certain stories. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? Do you ever feel sorry? Like, I try to explain to him, being as nice as possible and understanding, even when he wasn't towards me. And the only words that came out of his mouth, I'm not sorry for anything that I did. I'm not sorry for anything that I did. As long as I was able to get my point across and you did what I told you to do, I don't care. I don't care how I did it. And I was like, what the fuck? What's up? Like, damn.
You're just like,
I was like,
hey, bro.
and honestly, like at that point, like I was like healed when I was talking to him and telling him these things, that exactly what you said in the beginning. Like I was wondering, I was like, what the hell did his dad do to him?
Yeah.
Like I pray that he becomes a Christian and God changes his life and like grows a relationship with God, and that he's able to get on the podcast just like us sitting right there and him talking about his testimony to help lives and change lives and like show him it doesn't matter what age or how much trauma you got to help him. But it came to the point that even praying for him would like, it'd be too much for me.
Yeah.
I kind of just I left it in God's hands.
Yeah.
And it sucks because no matter what, I love my dad. Like you can't turn it off. There's a Andy Mineo. He's a Christian rapper. There's a line that he said. He was like, I wish I could unplug, like whatever he is to like him, like his father to Andy Mineo. Like he was, I wish I could just like rip the cord off of his heart and just unplug him, but he can't. Like that's his dad.
Yeah.
But and like you said, like we all internalize it. Like literally the lyrics right after that, he's like, "You my dad. Like what did I do to you?" Same thing when I was getting hit. I wouldn't understand, or even after I
listened to that song once and never again.
Yeah, like it's like yo, like what did we do to you, yo? Like what? Like we're literally like I'd literally be on my knees. I'm like, why? Crying, bleeding. What are you doing? Broken rib. What are you doing to me? Like why? What did I do?
Yeah.
Like what? Like why? And then I'd honestly pray to God right after. I'm like, God, why are you doing this to me? So not only do I have trauma from my father doing it to me, but also me growing resentment towards Jesus the whole entire time, asking God why. And it came to the point that I literally hated God for a while. And I was like, prayers to God isn't working. And me being a child, not knowing anything at all.
Yeah.
And this is me being completely honest with you. I started like, I didn't know what praying to the devil was and stuff like that. I was like, bro, like you're not helping me out. Like the devil, I hope you help me out. Like just being stupid and like, just speaking. I was a child.
Yeah.
I was
trying to make sense of your life.
I was trying to make something make sense because nothing was making sense to me. And although I may never understand why my mom stayed, I know that my mom went through a lot of trauma, and it's hard for women to be in an abusive relationship and for her to just have that be all that she knows. Like for him to be like the only thing that she knows, I understand that it's hard, and I try not too hard to like try to understand why my mom never left. Because I see like,
I mean, she did leave, but you mean
but like early on. And I try not to like make too much sense of it because I know my mom's like a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Like my mom's so sweet. I love my mom. Like recently I've been wanting to like just record our conversations just because I know like I'm not gonna have her forever.
I record stuff all the time, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I have the shortcut button.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah.
It just starts recording a voice note. So anytime something special is happening or I'm having an important conversation or like it's just a moment the girls are laughing, I record that. So
I might start doing that.
Yeah, do the same thing. Like, because those are just memories. Like you're documenting your life.
Word. I'm glad we have technology, yo.
Yeah, it's
literally,
dope. It's really dope.
And
Because before you had to have like a whole tape recorder, press play, put the tape in.
And you know what? I gotta say thank you, yo. Like you're the first person. You and my sister like giving me my first camera. And although I did have a phone, like it's different when you have a camera. And like being able to like I started seeing it as like, yo, you're documenting your life, and documenting it also makes you kind of want to romanticize it and show love and pour into yourself.
Yeah,
and it's honestly beautiful.
Yeah, word. Yeah, you're welcome, bro. I happy to do it.
Yeah. Imagine you were like, no, like I'm not happy to do it.
There was something I wanted to say, but I couldn't find the words. Like, happy to do it was the closest thing I could think of. So I know we're a little bit short on time, but um then you move into our house
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't the easiest transition for you. There was still like growing pains for you spiritually. And a lot of funny stuff happened. I remember it was a very funny season of God revealing stuff and doing stuff. But also, I think before we even get into that, I'd love to just hear your heart on how you were able to get to the point of healing and letting God heal you, and also getting to the point of forgiving your dad.
Yeah.
How did you get there?
Before we get into that, I want to tell him one story that happened at your house.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a funny one. I can laugh about it now because I'm completely healed, and obviously, like, being addicted to stuff is nothing like funny, and like struggling and like in that season, there's nothing funny about that.
Yeah.
But I can laugh about it now because I'm healed from it, and like we moved past it. One time I was coming into the household, I just finished smoking. Mind you, I'm reeking like weed, and I was like, "Oof, I'm reeking like weed." I spray mad cologne.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Going up the elevator, eyes bloodshot red. I'm hoping you guys aren't home. I go ahead, I walk in, I say hi, and then you guys say hi to me too. And then I go ahead. I think I grab some water, and Nina, just like my sister, she comes out the cut. She's like, "Come over here." I'm acting nonchalant, trying to like gas her. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I come to her, and then she's like, "Alex, are you high? Did you smoke?" Mind you,
feel
the
like I've
whole house smells like weed because of me.
Uh-huh.
I mind you, I hotboxed, so it was bad.
Yeah.
And I was eyes bloodshot. I'm like, no. She's like, "Alex, are you serious?"
You sound like her right now.
Yo,
I feel like I heard her say that line to you a million times.
bro, you don't have no idea. But it was just funny as hell because I was just high as hell. Whole house smelled like weed. And I was like, no, like just trying to
You're like,
gaslight her.
no?
I was like, what are you talking about? I'm hungry though. But yeah,
I'm hungry though.
yeah, word. The munchies kicked in.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, it was just funny. That's it. But the question was,
How
what
did you
are-
get to the point of forgiveness, basically?
I'm forgiving my dad every day.
That's good.
I'm forgiving my dad, like my dad every day. And one of the biggest things that helped me also is like he's doing better than what his dad did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing better what
That
his
is
dad
super
did.
helpful.
And
It's a little bit annoying when
It is
the
annoying.
therapist says it. You're like, but it's not enough.
word,
but it is helpful too.
it's helpful. And I think I just try to give it to God. And I genuinely feel like God just put it in my heart to continuously help people. So at times when I do go pick up my baby sister and stuff like that from his household, to bring him back to see my mom and stuff like that, or if I'm going to hang out with her, I go inside for a little bit every single time because I know he's dealing with back pain. I know he's dealing with neck pain. I know he's dealing with a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And out of the goodness of my heart, I was working at a physical therapist location, and I learned a lot of different things on helping back pain and like different cases. And I was the manager there, like being able to literally create workout regimens from recovery to performance, and then just like to go on from there and into discharging. So I had the knowledge, and I was like, yo, like, let me try to help him out. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it might make my baby sister's life like better, but I also wanted to show him that I do have some kind of knowledge too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd literally go in there and I'd help him out a little bit. I'm like, do this, do that while I while I'm gone. Like next time I pick up Sarai, which is basically gonna be like 4 or 5 months from then, like I still I check up on it and I see like, is he doing good? Like, okay, do this. I can help you out with doing this. But I try not to spend too much time with him because I do get triggered.
Yeah.
But I just try to focus on my assignment and what God's telling me to do. I feel like I still get triggered with anything that happens in life, whether it be my partner, whether it be my friends, my family, and I see things like just like from him leak into other stuff in my life. And I think it's just daily looking at it, knowing where it's coming from and sitting down and then choosing to heal or not. It's going to be hard and I'm not healed, or it's going to be hard and then I heal. And guess what? You're going to consistently be healing. So I'm going to have to consistently be aware that I've been hurt in so many different places by my father that I'm going to consistently have to keep forgiving.
Yeah.
So it's not just I just wake up and it's just one thing that he did, or like he just like I put everything in a bowl. Like no, it's like so many different like fragments and things, and I just got to consistently keep forgiving him. And I just try not to hate him. I just try not to do any of that. And I genuinely feel like God just took that out of my heart. Like before I hated him. Like I did not like him. I did not want him there. I didn't even want him at my wedding. I didn't want none of that. And I feel like God, like there's no other answer but God. Like he just took that out of my heart of like hating
Yeah.
him. I'm just like, well, like
It
it is what it
sucks.
like it
Yeah.
sucks. It is what it is. But guess what? Like you said, like I have to rely on God, I have to pray and like consistently be with him. Take my steps and like making sure that they're spiritually ordained and like God's guiding me the right way. And also bust my ass, just how I bust my ass like financially and for my businesses and for my knowledge. I also have to bust my ass to heal and pour into myself.
Yeah.
And with that comes up trauma. I gotta heal and keep forgiving.
It's it's so funny that when you get to that point,
Mm-hmm.
I know because I'm there too.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't. You have feelings about the situation,
Yeah.
but you don't really harbor like bad intent towards that person, like hatred.
Yeah.
It's not hatred. You're just like, come on, bro. It's more like a come on, bro. And it's
Yeah.
like it hurts. And also at the same time, you have standards for yourself. And
100%.
those standards come off as offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Heavy
it's-
boundaries.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me that it's like that. But I think that both are necessary. And I'm
Mhm.
not just talking about like anybody who had issues with their parents. I'm talking about like any relationship that you needed to heal from.
Yeah.
There needs to be forgiveness, but there also needs to be boundaries. And then even better, if you can get the third part of the equation, which is reconciliation,
Mm-hmm.
that's magnificent. But it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
You know,
And
some
sometimes
people
you gotta
just
be okay
aren't.
with that.
And you got to be okay with that.
And that's another thing I feel like some people have to heal from. Is not
You're not going to get what you want.
You're not gonna get what you want. Like you gotta accept
That was
it.
one of the hardest ones for me. And did I tell you that story?
Mm-mm.
So I had a therapist in Newark for like 2 sessions because I was switching insurances. So after that, I wasn't.
This
able
was
to-
the therapist that was really good, right? That you liked?
He was pretty good. I also didn't like him because of what he told me though. But he was
Okay.
right. And I'll share this. I think I've shared it on the podcast before, but because we're on this episode, it was during a season where I actually I don't even know if me and my dad are in talking terms right now. I don't know. It's like I would talk to him if he called me, but it's weird. I don't even want to go into it. So I don't even know if he's talking to me or if we're on talking terms. But that when this happened, it was when we had our first falling out.
Mm-hmm.
It was when I set my first boundary or spoke up for myself for the first time, basically. So I go to a therapist and I tell him the whole story. And this dude, he's a Puerto Rican and Brazilian dude, therapist, has dope art paintings in his office. Really dope dude. He's a therapist, like licensed therapist. And he basically looks at me and he says, well, if you were my son, I would have told you to F off too. And I was like, hey, yo, what is going on here?
Oh yeah, nah.
But
I
he's
would've crashed out.
like, what do you expect? He kind of said the whole like, your dad is doing the best that he can thing, but more like Newark, Puerto Rican style.
Mm-hmm.
And then also he gave me an analogy. And the analogy was this. He said, I don't have anything I could do it with, but he said, there's this box. And that box symbolizes what your dad is giving you and what
Right.
he's able to give you. And inside that box, there's things in there. What you keep doing is you keep going to that box and looking inside for something that's not there. And
Yeah.
you're going to keep looking inside of that box for that thing, and it's not going to ever be there. So you have to decide, are you going to cry about it? Are you going to be mad at him for the rest of your life about it? or are you just going to accept it? And that's a concept that some therapists teach you. Is called radical acceptance, which is very hard for people because acceptance basically, a lot of people think that means that you're saying that it's okay.
Yeah.
You're not saying it's okay. You're just accepting it. You're accepting that this is the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, when you are in a place where you finally accept it, even though it's still not okay, whatever it was that happened, you accept that it happened or that it will continue to happen, you kind of can move on.
Yeah.
Because if I don't accept it, I'm going to keep going back to the box. And I'm going to keep looking inside of there. And then every single time I'm going to get frustrated. And who does that help? It doesn't help me because I never get what I want. And it doesn't help him,
Yeah.
my dad, because he doesn't have it in the box. So I have to choose whether I'm going to accept it and whether I'm going to accept the box that he's giving me. Now, sometimes that works out to the point where you can, I've heard of people where they've accepted the box that their parent is giving them, and it leads to a decent relationship because you're like, okay, in a way, you're kind of like lowering your standards. I don't look at it that way either. I think you're just accepting that that's who they are and that's what they're able to give you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you take it. It's still not enough, but you just take what's there. And then there's other situations where they get offended and it just leads to a worse place.
Yeah.
And it's toxic, you know, because you stood up for yourself, basically.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me that that's where people usually end up. And I think that that's the healthiest place you can be, given the type of situation that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If the person is not willing to change, especially in really like aggressive and traumatic situations, I think you have to just accept it, choose to heal, and set boundaries so that you can keep healing.
Yeah, word. And with all that, you got to bust your ass.
Yeah,
Literally. Like, you need to put in work.
you got to put in the work.
No matter what, you got to put in work. It's like, I'm not telling you to go out here, start a business, quit whatever you're doing, but like, if you hate your job, you got to put in work to go ahead and change that circumstance. You're going to work no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be in Amazon, like flipping boxes and working no matter what. It just depends like where you want to pour your energy into. Sometimes you have to pour it in a little bit harder, whether that be into yourself, into your spirituality, with your partner, with your friendships, within yourself. You got to bust your ass and you got to put in work.
Yeah.
And you need a valid well to drink from.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one is going to be God. So I say, if you're not Christian, just try it out.
Yeah.
I literally like that's the best way I could describe it. I'm not going to make this like kumbaya crazy painting for you to go ahead and try like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go pray to God and do this and do that. Nah, bro, I'm just telling you, try it out. Like, if you're in that circumstance, like, does it hurt to try? It doesn't hurt to try. Just like, just try it out. Like, pray, and I promise you, like, God's been seeking for you and like wanting you to come to Him. Like, I promise you. Like, I can say that I can promise you, no matter who you are. I promise you.
Yeah.
He's been searching for you. Just try it out.
Yeah.
Pray to Him, and you're gonna be in that circumstance no matter what. And if you need some fuel, and I know it sucks, and I know you're tired, and I know it hurts, and I know that it's painful, and I know you think nobody understands, but God does. He does. And if you don't know if He does, ask Him.
Thank you so much, bro, for sharing your story and sharing your heart. You guys got the benefit of hearing this wonderful story, and we just want to thank you for sharing your time with us. We hope that you have an amazing week, that you continue to grow in your relationship with Jesus. And if you don't have one, you give your heart to Jesus. If you need help with that, shoot us a comment, shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you want to get in contact with Alex to talk to him, to share your heart with him, his information will be down in the description below. And check out this video that YouTube is recommending on the screen that it thinks you will like as well. And we hope that you guys have an amazing week. We'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.